Now, also in the 10-point agenda of the Kenya Kwanza ODM broad-based government, the party bosses, President William Ruto and Raila Odinga, have agreed to address the right to peaceful assembly and protest under Article 37 of the Constitution and compensation of all pending claims of abuse and derogation of the right. Now, Duncan Kaimba, our senior reporter, tells us that they also commit to addressing issues around protesting and promoting sovereignty of the people, rule of law and constitutionalism. In this report, he takes a look at the two critical agenda which shed a negative light on individuals such as the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and his deputy Gilbert Masengeli.
Right there, Your Excellencies. Thank you.
In what is clearly a tactical political score to deny their political rivals coming after them, President William Ruto and Raila Odinga have penned a pact to address two of the painful issues that have seen majority of Kenyans turn against the Kenya Kwanza administration. In 2023, Raila Odinga led weekly protests against the high cost of living, protests that were staged twice weekly. Many Azimio la Umoja supporters met the full force of the law. Tens lost their lives and many got injured as government machinery, the police brutally, heavily and mercilessly descended on them. The police, under the command of then Inspector General of Police Japhet Koome at the top and Adamson Bungei as the Nairobi County top cop, crushed protesters and brutalized the media crews as well as the country's leadership seemingly cheered them on. Enter 2024 June. Another season of protests rocked the country. The anti-finance bill protests, or better known as the Gen Z revolt. The same police force unleashing the same script, shooting dead over 60 young Kenyans, injuring hundreds and kidnapping scores of them. Agenda number 6 states, and I quote, "Derogation of the right to peaceful assembly and protest remains one of the shameful realities of excesses of Kenya's law and order responses since independence." It adds, the effort to uphold the right must now involve not just taking of responsibility by officers who break the law, but also by compensation of the victims of those derogations, and that an amnesty must be granted to those who are charged for offenses based on their exercise of their right to peaceful assembly. End of quote. On protecting and promoting sovereignty of the people, rule of law and constitutionalism, the rule of law requires the government and its officers to obey court orders and only challenge the validity of judicial pronouncements through legal processes. It says, and I quote, "Suppression of constitutional freedoms, including free speech, must stop." End of quote. In 2024, Acting Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli and later on the substantive IG Douglas Kanja and DCI Mohammed Amin disobeyed court orders when courts directed they appear in person to explain the whereabouts of kidnapped Kenyans, explicitly displaying blatant impunity. Odinga and Ruto have agreed to have the matter addressed, or at least they seem to suggest something of that sort. By President William Ruto and Raila Odinga officially forming a political tag team with Musalia Mudavadi already on board, it is a reincarnation of the 2007 ODM Pentagon with two faces missing. Different regimes, different political arrangement by name, but more or less the same, by the same political player, Raila Amolo Odinga. Is he the engine or the engineer of Kenyan politics? Duncan Kaimba, NTV, Nairobi.